Welcome everyone to the River's Edge. My name is Kelly, and today I'm interviewing Cheryl Murphy, who is a renowned psychic, and I'm super excited. She's the sweetest person on the planet. I got to talk to her last week or a couple weeks ago, so I'm excited to have you on. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure. I'm looking forward to this, and it was such a joy to speak to you a couple of weeks ago when we met, so thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I was looking at your website, and it has on my left here, and you have the evidential medium and psychic. What does that mean?
You know, evidential and psychic mediumship really, it does go together. But, you know, just to tell you the difference between a medium and a psychic, a psychic is the picking up energies around a person, like picking up energies around you or around your career, your finance, your relationships. I'm using my psychic abilities to tune in, that like clairvoyance, clairaudience. But to reach, to be a medium, we raise our frequency even higher to tap into the spirit world. So being a medium is like receiving messages from your loved ones in spirit, you know, guides and angels to help you on your path. And I always say I'm an evidential medium because I always ask the spirit world, you know, it's a collaborative effort to bring through validation and evidential messages that you could understand about your loved ones, you know, to show that your departed loved ones are still alive, right? That love never dies, you know.
So you have evidence.
Yeah, evidence like a shared memory, or maybe something they used to do all the time. You know, for example, maybe they read the paper at the same time every morning with their cup of coffee at the kitchen table. So that's something like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe we could do that with my brother. I'd be curious if my brother passed away about 1.5 years ago.
Oh, I'm so
But
sorry. I'm so
no, it's
sorry, of
thank
course.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that later.
Yeah, sure.
Also, intuitive facilitator is also listed on your skill set. We have many, but that's
Yes. So
I've not
intuitive
heard that.
facilitator, what I do is I actually help people develop their psychic abilities or their intuitive abilities. So, you know, through meditation, through exercising with, we're giving them exercises to do on how to tune in and tap into the spirit world, and also to how to tune in and tap into their higher self, because we all have to kind of tap into our own power first before we stretch out to the spirit world. Yeah. So being a facilitator, I help people I coach them, right? It's a coaching modality that helps people understand what energy feels like, you know. Am I there yet? Am I doing it right? You know,
Yeah.
we
Can
all
you
have,
tell if
we
oh
all have
sorry.
doubt. Yeah.
Can you tell if someone's getting it, like if someone's psychic or not? If they're
I do,
really
I do look at people. It's part of my job is to help students determine where they are on their path, what abilities or what strengths they have, and where they want to work, where they feel drawn to work, because it is a passion. It's got to be a passion. So yeah, I do. I look at energy. I feel the energy. So I help people kind of gauge where they are in their
I love
development.
this work. I love meditating and connecting with the spirit world, but I don't always know that I'm doing it right, or I just know how I feel. But
Yeah.
it'd be nice to work with someone like yourself that can
Thank you.
tell me if I'm crazy or not.
Well, you know, sometimes it does feel like we're going crazy, but lo and behold, we are not going crazy. If anything, we're just stretching. You know, we're stretching and reaching for that higher energy, that higher frequency.
Yeah, and isn't it so important right now, because people they need to calm down and have inner peace right now. So do you work with people a lot right now that are searching for that inner peace in this crazy 2020 world we're in?
Very much so, because right now what's happening, Kelly, is everyone's opening up. They're having these awakenings, and maybe they're not so uncomfortable sometimes. Maybe they're beautiful, but they're awakenings. Everyone's opening up to their empathic abilities, where they're becoming more sensitive. And I always think, Kelly, it's because we've been home a lot, you know, for the last several months now, that our energy has naturally blossomed, where we're open more now during the day than ever before. So now we're kind of opening up into the love we have, the sensitivity we have. So even though you and I can't see each other physically, our other senses, right, kind of compensate for that. Our intuitive listening, hearing, feeling, the clairsentience. We're opening up those other abilities more. And that's the awakening. That's the empathy, the empathic ability that people are getting to know themselves on a deeper level.
Oh, nice. Is
Yeah.
part of the awakening also waking up to lies you've been told, or seeing things from a different point of view, or?
Yeah, that is part of it, definitely. I think what's happening is our hearts are opening up. It is all about heart. It's all about love. And uh, we are opening up to know the truth now, or to know more of the truth, to maybe even trust the truth that we're feeling or hearing or seeing. But yes, absolutely, we're opening up on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And there's so much talk about um, the pedophilia ring and children being saved. Do you get any information on that? Are children being saved right now?
Absolutely. For however much tragedy we see in the world, we have to believe that there's that much goodness in the world too, and if not more. So yes, absolutely. I definitely feel definitely children are being saved. And what's happening is people are focusing their intention, and they're all coming together now. More people are uniting for these efforts. And that means a lot, because we're not so distracted anymore. We're not letting the outside world distract us anymore, which is what we need.
Yeah, it does feel like people are really coming together. And there's been so many group meditations across the world, across the planet. I love that.
I love it too. I love all the new moon meditations that I see on
Yeah.
Zoom, and the full moon, meditations, and I'm just loving it. Yeah.
Yeah. There does seem to be a lot more love if you look past all the immediate chaos in the world. There's been a lot of good come out of it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. If I can just say about the children, and you were talking about that, saving the children, just to share with you a part of my work that I do volunteer for, because I'm always trying to give back for my work and use my abilities for my highest good. Is I volunteer my time to locate missing persons. It's with a group called findmegroup.org. So findmegroup.org, we have all of these intuitives. We have all these retired law enforcement come together, and we have these cases of people that have gone missing, either recently or even a few months back. And we're trying to find them, whether they're still living, what was the situation regarding their missing. So I'm always trying to work with that. That's how I know about these children being helped, because I'm seeing it also in my work too, in finding
Wow.
missing persons. Right. It's really a rewarding career. It's a retired law enforcement officer started this organization. It's a
Oh, okay.
nonprofit. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Do then they
just
work
to
with the
share
police
that.
department?
Absolutely, working with the police department, working with the dogs and the helicopters and the rescue crews to try to track and find these people and return them to their families. Yeah.
Wow. So if someone comes to you and says, this child's missing, you just kind of try to tune into their energy, and can you get visuals of where they would be? Is that
I
how it
do.
happens?
I do. We also try to track them using Google Earth. It always helps to have a photo for some reason. I mean, sometimes a photo is helpful, sometimes it's not, but I usually do have a photo in front of me, and I try to help with the coordinates of when and where they were last seen, and then try to give information not only about them and where they are, but what the situation was around them. How they went missing.
Oh, wow. And I saw on your website also you help find missing animals as
I
well.
know, I know, I know. Also,
Oh,
we help locate, I help with people and their pets, whether they're living and it's a behavioral situation or it's a medical condition. I've certainly worked with parents and their fur babies, trying to help them diagnose or solve a medical condition, but also animals that have run away. Animals can take off, when there's a move in the family and they're scared or they're nervous. So they'll take off for a while. We do try our best to help locate them, and we absolutely have had some success stories.
yeah. So like my example, I know you and I talked about it already, but just to give everyone else an
Yeah.
example, like my dog Sammy
Oh,
attacks people's feet.
yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember that now. Yep. Sammy attacks their feet. Right.
And
And
you
it's everybody's feet, right? It's not
It's
just.
everyone's. It's bare feet especially, and then men with boots on, like black boots of any kind.
Yeah.
Those are two in particulars.
Yeah, and like I think we were saying, is that animals have a really good memory and they have a really good sense, right? They're very, very intuitive. And probably the previous owners, whoever that you know, was not nice to the dog or mistreated the dog. And therefore, when that happens, this dog is very aware of that. But with your love and your kindness, I know, and that condition will soon lessen. It
Well, he's
should
6 years
lessen.
old, and I got him at 8 weeks old.
Oh, 8 weeks old. Goodness
So,
gracious.
you think something happened in the first 8 weeks,
I
or?
think what happens is they take away from the mother at a very early age. And yes, absolutely. It doesn't matter what happened to the dog at any age, really. But I do feel there was some negative reinforcement around that stayed in the memory of the little doggy.
So he
Yeah.
must have got kicked or something.
Yeah, unfortunately. And that's just, but they do recover. I just want to say they do recover. And it's through your love and your intention that helps them. So I would just say, keep going with it.
I'm trying.
Yeah, it may take a while. It may take a while.
Yeah, it definitely does. See, I was wondering if it was like a past life too. Like they have past lives too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think also, I absolutely feel like you and your doggy Sammy had a past life together. And
I
I
didn't kick him
remember,
though.
no, no, but you could have had a past life. What I was remembering from our reading a few weeks back is that there was he went to battle with you, or there was some
Oh,
type of
that's right.
war where they used animals back then to protect us, like war horses and dogs even went to fight. Even now they're using them, but that's what I'm feeling, is the two of you experienced that before. So, and just like me and you, if we have a sore shoulder, or if we get a pain in our side and it happens, or if we have a fear of heights even, or a fear of the dark or spiders, anything like that. I know a friend who can't wear tight things around his neck, and I do feel maybe it's from a past life where maybe we were injured, even where there was a spear in the side, for example, back in the battle days, or
Right.
whatever that is. So I do believe we definitely carry things forward into this lifetime in order for them to be healed.
And can you, if it is strictly from a past life and it hasn't happened in this life, is it easier to clear? Can you go into that past life and clear it, or?
Absolutely. Is it easier? I don't know if it's easier, but it's just as effective. It's just as effective. And
Like I
a
just
lot
want
of,
to go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. No.
No, I was like, I just want to go into it and clear it and move on. Right. In 5 minutes, I want it gone.
A lot of people do that, though. They really get into the past life, meditation and work, to where they can experience, and it's really layers coming off at a time in each past life. You're taking off layers, and you're also realizing more of who you were back then. Not only are you healing the past life, but you're healing the present life and future lives, Kelly. And just like our ancestral line, when we heal ourselves, we're healing our ancestors. I do believe that firmly.
Right.
Yeah.
So would that be called a past life regression then, that work
Past
that you
life
do?
regression. I am a certified hypnotherapist. I've certainly done hypnotherapy as part of my work, but I'm always happy to
Nice.
help people. I don't really teach it. I just take people, help them regress back to those time periods where it was most helpful.
Oh,
But
okay.
we also do that with some energy work too. I have to say, it's all about love once again, and it's all about supporting them. And that's what I really take pride in, is how much of a relationship I build with this person before we go back into the regression, where we're trusting each other, we're supporting each other, and then we can even continue to work on another past life if that should happen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
do you work with people on health issues? Do people ever call you and say, hey, my back's hurting? What is this?
It's a great question, and I get asked that a lot, Kelly. I call myself kind of a medical intuitive wellness, a wellness intuitive, I guess. I don't know if I want to call it health or medical, but I'm a wellness intuitive, where people do call me about their backs, or what's going on. And so we do tune into the energy systems, like the chakras, and what happened at that time period in their life. And we do try to help bring light to it and healing, because anytime you remove any illness, anytime you remove that blocked energy, so to speak, you always want to replace that with positivity, with love,
Right.
with compassion. Otherwise, you've just got this energy void, so to speak, that might be susceptible to having it reoccurring.
Or other energies coming in. Is that
Could be.
possible?
Could be, or something else might be out of balance, so we want to always treat the whole
Okay.
person. Once again, you're treating the whole energy field.
And what if it's something like you slept wrong, like my back? We don't have to do about on myself, but just an example, or like, oh, I slept wrong and it's going to hurt for a couple weeks. Is that something that you would say it's an emotional reason for it, or just a physical? You slept wrong, it'll go away.
Yeah, well, what I'm just picking up on is it's probably mostly physical, but I did feel a couple of weeks ago something emotional either happened, and it doesn't have to be a big dramatic event. It could just be, either, something happened to you where you were upset for a very short time. But yes, and if we keep that frustration inside of us, so to speak, that does come through now for it's like it creates this event to
Physical
happen,
manifestation.
right? This opportunity, because in some way where we weren't that free, loving, flowing person, and we were a little bit kinked.
Yeah. And I always want to get to the root cause of things. I don't want to do a Band-Aid solution, right? So if it's a recurring thing, that something you've had for years, you want to get to the root cause, right? Not
Always,
keep doing
always.
Band-Aids.
And not to be hard on ourselves too. I think people work so hard on healing themselves and they do such a great job, but sometimes it will revisit us. Sometimes it will pop up a few years later to remind us that maybe we have to take another look, that there's a deeper layer. And once again, these are all lessons. These are all opportunities for healing, for working with your higher energies, for realizing that, you are an empathic being. Yeah.
Right. And we all have lessons to learn in life, right? You can't skip from A to Z.
You cannot skip from A to Z. No, you cannot. And if you do, you'll still come back around.
You gotta follow the yellow brick road and see where it takes you.
Yeah. And it's okay. I mean, people skip around all the time and want to get to the heart of the problem or the root of the problem. And that's part of the path too. So it's just part of the path. Yeah.
I know. I'm definitely guilty of wanting that. I want everything now.
Yeah. Right.
I
Well,
need to chill out.
I think what's great about this time, just to tell you in 2020 where we are now, it's really a great time to manifest. So, I can understand where you're coming from. And I also want to say it's a great time to manifest because there's so much up in the air, so to speak. There's so much mystery of the unknown right now that why don't we, write down our 10 wishes every month with the new moon? I always tell people, write down your 10 wishes every new moon. It's like a birthday every month, and start creating and focusing, because I do feel the universe is asking us, the universe is saying, hey, Kelly, I know you wanted to manifest that new home. We'll just use that as an example, but be more clear on it. Like, what exactly are you asking for? The swimming pool, you want to live over here. And, it's almost like we have to reimagine it in our minds in a clearer way. That's what I think we're all being asked, is to really set our intention and focus on what it is we want to create. Whether it's material or just love, maybe we want to create more friendships or a love in our life, or, the new career path, that type of thing.
I want all of those things.
Yes, we want all of those things. Absolutely.
Everything you just said, I'll take all of it.
All of those things.
How long does it take to get in alignment so you can, and this year you think the energies are way stronger than they've ever been for manifesting?
I think they're way stronger, and I think they're going to continue to be strong into 2021. We are moving from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And so we are all moving, and we're also moving into this fifth dimensional reality where manifesting, is becoming more evident in our everyday life. Like, we're starting to own up to the fact that we are manifestors, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we're moving from this 3D of timeline into everything happening now and being more present. That's the 5D, the fifth dimension. We're also moving even from the internet, we're moving into 5G, right? We're moving in so many levels forward that it's really important for us to slow down, and really important for us to be with our families, be in the present moment, enjoy this, because it is the fifth dimension also where we're moving is about enjoying our life. It's not about, the old saying, no pain, no gain, or you got to work hard to make money. You never heard that?
No, I've heard, I said, I don't like it.
You know, you got to work hard to make money. Well, the fifth dimension where we're moving to is, why not make money with love, joy, and abundance and laughter, right? And why not learn to be your own healer, or awaken to the healer within? How's that?
Oh, I love that. I
And then
love that.
and then you take it as a group effort or a group event. Like every month I have a healing prayer circle where we have meditations and we focus on manifesting wellness and abundance. You take that group effort, which we're all, most of us anyway, are on the internet and on these group calls where we can feel the energy. We're feeling it intuitively. We're feeling it in the nonverbal communication, so to speak. And that's your higher self. That's your awareness opening up.
I love that. And
Yeah.
what if someone's focused, they meditate every day, they're really stay in a place of peace and balance, but they're not manifesting what they want?
Yeah. Well, I would say, look, sometimes we get in our own way, right? Sometimes we get in our own way, and just stepping out of your own way. Plus, I do think sometimes we expect it the way we want it to be, rather than maybe the way the
Right.
divine universe wants to bring it. Because what I've experienced is usually dreams do come true, and usually they come true even bigger and better than what we've imagined. And it's just allowing the universe to manifest that with us in the own divine timing. And what we can do to help assist that is to, one, get out of our own way. You know, it is about
By
having gratitude, right? Having gratitude. That's a great way to manifest, is having gratitude.
and that helps you get out of your own way by being
It
in this
helps you get
place.
out of your own way, and it helps to turn the wheels of favor in your direction, because I think it gets you going the right direction. Like, I should be grateful that I, you know, have clean water, and I have a, you know, a roof over my head. I mean, we can start with those things and build on that. I mean, there's so many things to be grateful for, but that is the elevation, that's the
Mm-hmm.
frequency that manifesting to your highest good is created with, you
And
know.
sometimes it's just not the right time, right? Things don't happen
Absolutely.
because it's just not the right time.
Boy, is that the truth. That is so the truth.
Right. So don't get frustrated and give up that you're not manifesting what you want. It's just that it may not be the right timing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're not a complete loser. You can. Just kidding.
I hear you. But there is the earth time, there's the earth time schedule, and then there's the divine time schedule. And actually divine timing is looking out for our higher good. But I know you and me, I know it's like we know we want it now, we want it next week, we want it this year, you know.
I know.
I know.
So I want to hear more about what you're training, because I would love to do one of them, all the different trainings you do, because you obviously do psychic readings, and
Yeah.
you're doing the intuitive facilitator training, and what else?
Yeah.
Other trainings are you doing?
You know, I love doing readings for people. So I do mediumship and psychic readings. You know, I combine the two. Absolutely. I help people with medical or health and wellness, and animals. Absolutely. And spirit guides. Even I help people tap into their spirit guides. So that's always a lovely way I can help out people. And how I teach, you know, I offer a couple of different ways you could study with me. I offer a monthly group session where you're with a group every month. It's called the Inner Circle Monthly Mentorship. So that way it's a group format. We practice together, we meditate together. That's kind of a nice group I work with. Also, I do one-to-one trainings with people. So maybe they're interested in just being psychic. You know, people who do card readings, I help them, or people who just want to tap into their own psychic abilities. So it's not always a professional person that I'm teaching. It may be just somebody wants to learn for themselves or their friends or their family. I do lots of that too. So I do psychic work, and then the mediumship work is also, I do one-to-one with that for people. We do one session to start off with, and then they can buy a package of 3 sessions with me or 5 sessions. But really, it is about tapping into their loved ones. It's about tapping into the unseen friends, the ascended masters, kind of letting them know that, you know, we're not all alone, and that we're always being helped and supported. So we really are. That's one thing. I know a lot of people are alone right now, especially with COVID and having to stay indoors. And I know that's just happening, you know, worldwide. And people are bummed. You know, they're bummed. They feel stuck. And I'm always try to help people, show them that they're not alone, just by tapping into their loved ones on the other side.
And what if you have to be pretty open to be able to train to be, or increase your intuitiveness and psychic abilities, right? Have you get anyone that's just completely shut down, and trying to train
Uh,
them would be difficult?
not lately, not lately. I think a long time ago, I met a gentleman who, not that he didn't want to, but he was so hard on himself, and we worked through it, but then I lost touch with him. But but the greatest thing about working with that young man is that he couldn't see, like he didn't have the clairvoyant ability. He couldn't see with his inner eyes. He couldn't, for whatever reason it was. But what we did is we helped him. I helped him work with his other abilities to open up the hearing more, or the
Okay.
clairsentience more. And so that's what happens is, we're not all wired the same. We're all going to work differently.
Yeah.
So I know we got that going for him. And then, I know that was a success story, but that was tough because he was hard on himself. And
Right.
it's really about, your guides, angels, and loved ones are working with your abilities. So it's like, keep the faith, because if anything, Kelly, it will open up at a later time. That's always what I tell people. Look, you don't have to have all of your psychic abilities, like the clairvoyance, hearing and feeling, the tasting, the smelling, the knowing. Claircognizance is knowing. You don't have to have all of those at one time. Maybe you're going to work with one or two of those, and then a few months later, the spirit world will change that around, and other ones will strengthen. And it's just interesting because it's never the same, right? My readings are never the same. Every reading is very unique and different in its own way.
Because some may be clairvoyant, another way clairaudient, and is that what you mean?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
mhm.
So sometimes also people may be psychic and not know it, right? Like I'll hear voices in my head, because I'm crazy, but because I get like messages, and I always thought it was my own self, my own brain
Yeah.
telling me, but it could
Yeah.
be, spirit giving me
Mhm.
messages, right? But I never accredited that. So I thought, no, it's just me creating those messages in my head.
True. And what I want to tell people, and what I try to teach people, is it is about trusting. It's about opening up your awareness and trusting, and setting your intention once again that you're going to do this work for your highest good, and I want to say the first voice is your intuitive voice. So when you ask yourself questions like, should I turn right? Should I turn left? Should I take this job or that job? The first voice is the intuitive voice, because right after that, there's another voice that comes in and says, forget it. You're not going to get the job.
Uh,
You don't know where you're driving to, ask somebody, and what I want to say, that's the doubtful voice. We could say that's more of you coming
the
into the
3D
equation.
programming, and
Yeah. So it's
we
always
all have it.
yeah, we all have it. The intuitive voice, it's like a psychic muscle. We all have biceps, so to speak. We all have these muscles. We have physical muscles. So if we go to the gym, we develop them just like our psychic muscles. If we don't go to the gym, we still have them. We still use them. Maybe they're just not as developed.
Right. So yeah,
Yeah.
trusting is a big part of it, right? Because when
Trusting
you
is
do get those
huge.
messages, you got to realize it's trusting. Even if it's not, just go with it, because you're going to be able to open. You're going to learning how to open up.
Trusting and relaxing about it, and not being hard on yourself. I have to say that gets in the way when we're so hard on ourselves. I would just say, have gratitude, always ask in prayer, always give yourself a pat on the back for the work that you are doing. And yeah, and it's going to come naturally. It is going to come naturally.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. You mentioned spirit family earlier. I have no idea who my spirit family is, but I talk to them. But how do you find out who your spirit are? They loved ones, people that you've known, or
Your spirit guides can be your loved ones. It's very true. I do feel like, for example, your brother is probably a guide for you. But I do feel our loved ones are can be a guide for us. They're not always guides for us, though. They could be guiding us on a certain problem that we're having, or we have to overcome a challenge. But you do actually have guides. Like, for example, with you, just connecting with you right now, I feel very much like the Greek Roman times coming through. I don't know if you're ever drawn to that period in history, but I did feel very much like this Greek Roman, beautiful being coming in, and I'm just going to tune in just for a moment. But it's someone who's been helping you, and I feel like they're a scribe, meaning that they're a writer, someone who would have been educated. They're from this time period, though, this Roman feeling, the Greek feeling, where they would have been a scribe there, or perhaps as I just kind of keep tuning in with you, I just feel them to be a monk. I don't know if, and I feel like someone very holy, right? So now I have someone very holy. I did feel it to be male, someone who would have been a scribe and also an orator, right? Someone who would have spoken, but they had to have been educated because not everyone knew how to read and write back then. But someone really of a high degree, or maybe in the political system, right? Because that's where they would have been utilized, in government probably, or for someone who had money. So I don't know if do you write at all, Kelly? Are you a writer, may I ask?
No, I always think I will one day, but then I'm never into it.
Yeah.
I'll journal sometimes, but very little.
Yeah, journaling is fine. It's one way to tap into that guide for you. But just like today, speaking in public, like, you being that orator, so you are bringing some of that energy forward. Okay. So I do feel there's a connection between you and this person, to where, back then when they were a monk, they really weren't really allowed to speak a lot until they were like spoken to or asked to, right? Because they're meditating, they're off in their monastery. So it perhaps may take even a little bit longer for that to start coming through for you. But I definitely feel writing on your path, and writing more is what I'm hearing for you. So I just kind of keep hearing, oh, write more. Like, you're very good at it. It's like,
what am I going to write?
I don't know. Just put your John Hancock on it, that they say. Put that Kelly on it. It could be, I don't know what you're going to write. I could tune into that too and help you with that. I don't know about this call
we don't
today,
do that.
you write, just writing in your journal is a good start. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the spirit guides, is there typically an amount that people have? Like a certain number?
Some people say that there's 3 or 5 guides. I'd like to believe that you do have a certain number that are around you. I'm not sure what that number is, different for everyone.
Yeah.
But I want to say there's also new guides that come in for new challenges that you're working on.
Oh,
so
okay.
perhaps, for example, I was working on a new course. I was working on this new course that I just recently taught, and I had a guide come in to help me with that. And I didn't ask for a guide. What happened is I was in meditation, and a guide stepped in and just briefly said, "Hey, I'm your guide." And it was actually kind of funny because it was a flyby spirit guide sighting. I want to always make it sound funny because I was meditating, and this energy just came right at me and said, her name's Betsy. She goes, "Hey, my name's Betsy. I'm here to help you out with this class you're organizing. I just want to, say hi to you, and I'll see you later, or I'll be on my way." And she's in and out of my meditation that quickly, but enough for me to know that I got her name. I got why she was with me. I kind of got a feel for her, to where I did start working with her more to create that course. So
yeah, I love that. They're there to help us, right?
I think they come in like if you want to learn to play the piano, you could bring in a guide that was either alive in a lifetime, or maybe never had a life on this earth, but someone that enjoyed the piano. They'd come in and help you play the piano. So whatever hobby you take up or interest.
I want that. I have a keyboard I bought, and I don't ever play it because I get frustrated because it's so hard for me.
Ask your guides, ask all your unseen friends to come in and help you. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, it is. And you sit and get quiet and just feel it and feel their presence.
Yeah, you do. Once again, we always have to go back to gratitude. It's, once again, just have gratitude for 1, 2, 3 things. Take some nice deep breaths and ask them to come forward. And really, you might just take that moment and start feeling or sensing the atmosphere in the room that you're in. You want to just start sensing what the energy in the room that you're in feels like. And I kind of got to say it, you're going to start feeling a flow and feeling inspiration coming through.
I love it. Oh, it's exciting. Can I ask you a question? If a friend of mine also passed away last year, and I was curious if she was one of my spirit guides.
Is this a, I'm sorry, what we're going to say
at the end? Shona.
Shona. I felt her to be kind of standing right behind you. And this was a close girlfriend. Is that right?
Yeah. She was my coach too for a long time.
Coach.
And she,
Yeah. I felt like chums, like I want to say chums.
She
We
was
were
my buddy. Yeah,
chums.
totally my
Jimmy, we're
buddy. Yeah.
friends. Like we would go out beyond, you guys went out beyond the
Oh
coaching
yeah. Oh,
goals or stuff.
completely. She
Like,
started as my coach and we became super close.
yeah. And she brings me more music to be aware of for you. Like music was a big deal with us because it feels like music was something you guys went out and had a drink, or you went out and listened to music.
We
But
went out in Miami for the weekend and had a great time.
beautiful, beautiful. And she feels a little bit like a hellraiser. Is that right? You
Oh,
know, like
totally.
she
She
can be like a
totally is.
hellraiser. And I just feel like she's coming through to tell you, you haven't missed a step, is what she's saying. Like you haven't missed a step. And I don't know if she did your hair, or you guys have the same hair or something. But
No, she had a pink and purple wig and I wore the pink wig and she wore and we went out in Miami wearing purple and
having
pink
the same
wig.
hair. Perfect. So,
Same hairstyle.
I love it. I love her too. And, she tells me that you're very clairvoyant. I want to tell you, like, you can really see is what she's saying. Like she does this, like, wow, she's really good at seeing things. And even, I don't know if you have precognitive ability, Kelly, where you could see things happening before they happen, but that's what I'm feeling for you. Like, do you ever become aware or open up your senses? Like, oh my God, I think, this is going to happen tomorrow, for example, and then something happens,
Like
or
maybe something completely minor that is meaningless, but nothing
yeah.
like really meaningful in life.
Well, that's, meaningless is fine too, because it's us becoming aware of that. That's all. That's all. It's us acknowledging, like, wow, I had a dream about that. And now I'm watching it happen in front of me. Or yeah, I sensed, that an earthquake or a tsunami, or I sensed that this person would call me even the next day.
Yeah.
I
Like,
get that a lot. Yeah.
yeah. Most recent. It's like I knew like when this UPS guy was going to show up, like I could
Yeah.
just see him coming up my stairs.
Yeah. I really do. I think it's because you're working on other dimensions other than just time. You're working on different timelines, I guess we could say. So you're in different dimensions. Like I'm in the earth time because that's what you do every day, but you're also tapping into his thoughts or his route, or someone coming and approaching your home. So there's different ways that we're aware and that we're sensitive. So hats off to you. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things I don't acknowledge it really
Yeah.
as what it is.
I just want to congratulate you for being honest about that, because sometimes we miss that. It's such a big part of our development is we don't write it down, or we don't acknowledge those little things that pats on our back. So I want to tell you and everyone, look, document these wins, document your yeses, document. That's if you want to, but that is one way to manifest more ability. I'll just say that, because now you're writing it into physical form. You're taking the pen and paper and you're manifesting into physical form to where it would solidify and develop and deepen. So, for example, those little things that we take for granted, because we think it's natural. I mean, everybody has those, right? But then really a lot of people don't, a lot of people don't have those abilities, or they're not aware of them. Yeah. So become more aware of your own senses and what your thoughts are and what spirit's telling you. And
Yeah, I would have thought it was more hearing rather than seeing.
She told me you're very good seeing. Now you're probably very good hearing also. Like you said, you've been hearing things. So you're probably very good in your clairaudience. This thing about your throat chakra, I just feel there's so much blue coming out of your throat right now. So I don't know if, do you like the color blue, for example? Do you wear the color blue?
I don't ever wear it, but I always wear black and white. It's boring.
That's okay. Nope, nothing wrong with black and white. Beautiful powers, but it feels like there's so much blue coming out of your throat right now. And this also works with our clairaudience and our clairvoyance. All of this trinity up here is always working. And also your higher purpose, that crown chakra, it seems to be very open, I just want to say. So, your ability to speak, right? If our blue is open, this is our fifth chakra. We speak our truth, right? We speak up for ourselves. This type of thing. We write, some people write, but they're still using this chakra.
What does the blue mean again?
Well, the blue is our fifth. This is the will. I will things. Okay. But the fifth chakra helps with your clairaudience, your clairvoyance. So it's connected right in here, this trinity.
And it's about speaking your truth.
The sixth chakra and seventh chakra. So anytime people need help speaking up or speaking for themselves, you want to wear the color blue or turquoise. You could wear earrings, a necklace. You could just be thinking about the color. You don't have to actually wear it. But any colors that you're attracted to, try to find out why you're attracted to certain colors in your life. Because I do think it's your intuition talking, like you need those colors in your life. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like the blue skies. I'm definitely attracted to that.
That's
As you
fine.
can see right here behind me.
I see that.
And blue water.
And blue water. And blue water.
I love it. Let me see if there's other questions I had for you. Oh, you know what? I always find interesting that religions are against psychics. Like
Yeah.
what, why is that? Because is it a
know.
fear-based thing that they don't
I
want people
know.
to tap into the truth of things?
I believe so. I believe
Yeah,
so.
this is what I always kind of thought.
And you know, it is. And I always try to meet people where they are in their life, because people who might have that fear now today, something may happen in their life where they start looking in different ways to mediums or psychics. You know, life happens and we experience loss, or we have an incredible event happens, or we just out of curiosity, we want to know more about psychics and mediums. And so I kind of do believe in divine timing with that, and letting people come to me with that or start the conversation. So, but yes, there are people around religion that are very much, it is very much a practiced, you know, belief system. And I think when they're ready, I will welcome them with open arms to help them, you know,
Yeah,
try to understand that they too have abilities, you know,
it's
they
just
too have
natural.
abilities. It's natural. It's a part of you and I, because we're spiritual beings.
Right. We're all created from the same
Having
source.
having human experiences, yes, we're all created from source. And really, this body, this physical manifestation, it's one of our bodies, but we have a spiritual body, emotional, mental bodies, you know, and we radiate, right? We radiate energy. That's why pregnant women are called, you know, people say that they're glowing, you know, they have a glowing mom to be, because they do, they're radiating that beautiful energy of them and the baby. Or if you see a beautiful animal, for example, dogs or any animal, horses, or, you know, they also radiate. Even a beautiful plant, it's, you know, it can be stunning. That also radiates energy. And color is huge.
I love my plants.
Yeah,
I
plants
name
are
all of
great.
them and I talk to
Oh,
them and
and you talk to them. Good for you. It's true. It's true. It's energy. It's that energy of frequency. And if you tune into your plants, good for you, because I think there's something to also learn. There's a giving and receiving. There's a fair exchange of energy, right?
yeah,
The
totally.
more you give to them, kind of the more they give to you and to the universe. And yeah,
Yeah, I got my plants and the birds. I'm set with nature.
you're set.
I did want to ask you about some current events, but first I wanted to see, would you see if my brother, if he's around me or has
I
any?
will, I will, I will. Let me just tune in. Is he around your age, please? Is he just a little bit,
He's 11 months older.
yeah, just a little bit older?
Yeah,
Um, and did he leave a long time ago though, or something?
it was December 2019. Or no,
Um,
oh wait, no, 2018, because it's been a year and a half.
Let me just tune into him. Did you guys used to work together or work? Um,
Mm-mm.
I just feel like he was a big brother to you, like he was a coach to you. He was a bigger brother to you. And he passed from an illness, is that right?
Heart attack.
Okay. Um, he feels to be extremely humorous or extremely funny. Can you understand that?
Yes.
And I feel this raging like personality coming through now, and this enormous smile. And I just get a sense the two of you having this closeness with you. I want to say, can you understand, like it was just the two of us a lot in our lives, or a two of us at, you know, growing up together? Can
Oh,
you understand
totally.
that?
Totally. Yeah, yeah. We're very close.
And also, would he have had a tattoo, please? Or do you have a tattoo in his honor, may I ask?
I don't, and he didn't. I have a tattoo, but not in his honor. It's just
Okay,
a
you have
little.
a tattoo in his
I don't think he was into tattoos.
That's fine. Thank you for that. Because he just brings through all this humor about, oh my God, he was okay. This is what I have for your brother. He feels a little very different from everyone else, right? I feel like he moved to the beat of his own drum,
Totally.
meaning I don't think he put up with anybody's stuff. I don't think he put up with any crap. And we'll just say, like, he was a free thinker and he was a free spirit, I'll just say. Am I right that this heart attack came on all of a sudden and no one knew anything about it?
That's right.
Okay. That's where I have him right now. And that, it's something about, hey, look, he's a very charming man, I have to say, because he says, Cheryl, my heart was so big, he's like bragging about himself. My heart was so big, right? That I had so much to share with other people that he absolutely knew it was his time to go. And he crossed over right away. Is there a single syllable name? Is his name like a single syllable? Like
Mark.
A Mark, thank you. And oh boy. So he's talking to me about a wedding. Would you understand that? A wedding with your brother?
I went to his wedding. I mean,
That's fine.
12 years ago. I don't know which.
That's fine. He just brought through a wedding, and I think that was probably one of his happiest times. He just talks about you and him having a great time, and I really get a sense of him just taking all out of life that he could, taking all of life that he could. And it feels like he's always doing so many things that he didn't see this coming. No one saw it coming. But in some way, he's in your heart is what he's telling me right now. He's like, I'm in your heart. I don't know if you ever feel him around, but he feels like he's like over your shoulder or coaching you. Do you ever hear his voice, by the way?
I do.
And, it's like he's humming or singing. And, for him, it's just kind of another day. For us, they're in the spirit world, but to them, it's another day, and he is here. And he talks about his shoes, just to tell you, and how big his feet were, or he's making fun of himself.
He did have big feet.
I feel like he would make fun of himself to make you laugh, but I think that way with friends too. He would make fun of himself, and he never made fun of other people. He just made people laugh through his humor.
He always did.
What he's saying, it was always good humor. That's what I feel with him, and that he would care a lot about, what's happening in our world. Like, I think he was very fair man. He's a very fair man, your brother. And it feels like he gave everybody the benefit of the doubt. Like he was fair. That's just kind of what he's telling me right now. Yeah, I know he's coming to you very much so, very brilliantly.
Yeah, I do completely feel him. I was wondering if he knew he was going to be, because you said he wanted to leave instantly and not linger, or I forget how you worded it, but then you said also that maybe he didn't know it was coming.
Well, the impression that I was sensing from him when we were connecting is that he knew it was his time to go, but he did not know it was coming. It's as if he was experiencing the condition that took him to the other side, but he wasn't in any pain. He knew what was happening, is what he's saying. I knew what was happening. Okay.
Got it.
And he would not have wanted to speak, and he would not wanted to have been a burden to anybody, And that's what I'm feeling like. I understood that he was, he's telling me I understood why I was leaving, but he didn't know it up until then,
Yeah. And they're always so much better on the other side, right? As soon as they switch over, we're the ones grieving and they're off.
Yeah, he's definitely okay. I know he's with other animals on the other side. He talks about his hats. I don't know if you still have his hats, but he wore hats, or he had hats around.
I wear his hat all the time.
Oh, I love it. So it's just to connect with you. And I do get the color light blue with him, just to talk about the color blue. I don't know if he had light blue eyes, or if he liked light blue, or the hat's light blue, but that's kind of what I get, is light blue with him.
Yeah, he had green eyes, and the hat's black. It's a Pittsburgh Steelers hat, so it's
love
black.
That. That's fine. But I still get that color with him, and that once again, that he knows all is well. Like, he knows all is well. And I feel like you've had a dream about him. I do want to say, have you ever experienced a dream with your brother?
I have. I feel like I have them, but then I don't remember any specifics.
That's
I can't remember.
That's
fine. But I want to remember.
I know, I hear you there. I think our spirit family and guides, they come to us all the time in our dreams. It's just
Hmm.
sometimes we're not supposed to remember them, but they're with us all the time. But, it was lovely that you remembered that dream. I mean, it's lovely that you remember that you had a dream with your brother,
Yeah, I
because
feel him all the time.
those are the ones you've got to hang on to for sure.
Yeah, I feel his presence all the time for sure.
Oh, I love that. I love him.
I
Yeah.
know.
He's
It's
still a
really
big
sweet.
brother. I still feel big brother around.
Aw, and Shona too. I feel her all the time.
Yeah, yeah. In some way, like I don't know if you said this or not, but she does feel like an angel. I
Yeah,
feel like an angel on earth or something with her.
she is an angel. I
She
miss her
feels
so much.
so lovely. So they're probably having a great time on the other side.
Yeah.
Without,
They
everybody.
didn't know each other on this side, but they do
Yeah,
now.
that's what happens is they meet each other on the other side.
Yep.
They
I
know
want
everybody. Yeah.
yeah, that's so exciting. But what about this move to 5D? And is there
Yeah.
a timeline of that when you think that'll happen and what
Uh,
changes to expect?
Yeah, well, that move to the fifth dimension, so to speak, it's a reality that actually started, a long time ago, at least, 50 years ago. So it's been with us for a while. We've been on this path, moving and creating. But a lot of people knew or feel that this time right now is absolutely kind of, the breaking down of walls, the tearing down of old ideas, and we've experienced it through 2008. We had the financial crash, and we've experienced it in different ways. But so now we're all about the health and the medical. This is all being revisited and re-examined. So yeah, I really do feel 2021. Right now, also in the next 2 years, probably we're going to be experiencing this change. And there's so many good things coming. We have to be open and positive about it,
I
like
know.
good inventions, good healing. We're empowering ourselves. Once again, the fifth dimension is about us maybe stepping more into our truth, about we're more than just this physical being. And you and I'm sure all of your callers, are on the leading edge. We're already there, and we can always bounce back to 3D. Three dimension is like the doubt. Three dimension is the doubting of this isn't real. This is hard. It takes money to make money type of thought.
Right.
5D is more about I'm a spiritual being. I'm a magnificent manifester. That's why I'm here, to create more joy and love. And therefore, and that's how we manifest, is we maybe focus our intention and our affirmations, and we learn our truth through experience, through experience.
And is that when they're able to drop all the old programming that doesn't serve you anymore?
Yes, absolutely. No, it's no longer serving us anymore.
Yeah.
And you may have dropped some, and I may have dropped some, and maybe as a collective we're dropping some, or maybe we're dropping a lot. It's all happening so much so fast right now, as we know. But it is all part of the change, and really
Yeah.
our job is to still be that loving, loving, compassionate spiritual being that we are. Yeah.
I love that. And that's is the whole goal, right, in life. We're united as one, and we live
Yeah.
in abundance and happiness and peace and love. And
Yeah, and it's coming true, and good things are coming from all of this that's happening. So once again, we are imbalanced. I mean, we see things as being unbalanced or awful or really good. And once again, it's still in balance, whatever it is. For as many people as we see are being harmed these days, there are, 10 times that many praying for these people, because I really think people are praying more now than ever.
yeah.
People are hoping more now than ever. People are, asking for what they really want more now than ever. It's not just maybe material things. Maybe they're asking for more, kindness, humor, healing,
Yeah, for sure.
love. You know, so it's more about that power. So that power of love is coming more to the forefront.
And is there anything specific you can see coming down the road in 2020 that we can look forward to? I know
Yeah,
the election's crazy. Oh my God.
yeah, the election is crazy. Yes, the election is crazy. And yeah, well, I know, I'll tell you what I absolutely know for sure is coming through that I have been working with, that I've been feeling for a very long time, is our healing ability, that we will learn to tune in to our own inner healer, so to speak. So I know that, everyone's, a lot of people even are on antidepressants, or a lot of people are on the opioids, and it's a lot of prescription medication, and they
Hmm.
have their use. I'm not knocking it. It's spiritual too. It's part of Western medicine. I'm all about that. But the addiction, now when we take it too far, I
Right.
feel that might dissipate. That I feel that might uh, um, dissolve, and that will take time. But I do think people will start tapping into their own inner healer. Once again, everything is useful that we're manifesting in this life. I just think we're creating a newer balance into who we are. I think we're creating more of a holistic approach. We're creating that we need
I
to
love
listen
that.
to our own healer, our own inner healer, and create our own medicines, or our own therapies. We'll just say that. I mean, even if it's a therapy, I do feel that, and we're working more in collaboration with our community and with our partners. So not only do you go to a doctor for healing, but you're going to your community for the healing also. And I kind of think that's coming back around, like somewhere that got lost, but that's going to come back around.
Yeah,
I
like
like
local
that.
farming and that kind of,
I
love
love that
that.
local farming. Yep, local
Mhm.
farming, and really becoming more what do I want to say,
Sustainable or
more, yeah, more sustainable, and becoming more of a participant in it. Where people they participate in their food, and they participate in growing, and they participate in all of this, to where it really does take us on a whole nother realm, is what I'm feeling.
yeah, it feels like such a community the way you're talking about it, such a
Yeah.
nice community feeling.
Absolutely, absolutely, and really looking out for one another. And I really do think, we could heal each other quicker. We could heal ourselves quicker. There's always going to be a balance once again. So it is about Western medicine will absolutely be there. Eastern medicine will be there. It's all going to be a newer balance, though, right? I just feel that. That's just how I'm feeling, and more about healthcare. More people, once again, taking responsibility.
Yeah, and
Right.
taking better care of themselves, right? So their
Taking
immune
better,
system's stronger, eating healthier, just being in nature. It's huge.
huge, loving nature and preserving nature. And yeah, there was talk that the oceans really need attention, and the fish, and we really need to clean up our oceans, so to speak. And that's what I'm hearing, is like, look, everyone's going to start moving in their own way to help with that. And it's not just the ocean, it's nature, it's other things, but everyone does their part. How's that? Everyone's starting to do more of their part, and that makes such a big difference.
What are your thoughts on going into, people always say when you're going into the fifth dimension and you're becoming more spiritual that you stop eating meat. It's like people
Oh
don't eat
yeah.
meat. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is that true?
Yeah. Well, it might be true. It might be true. I do feel it's true for some. I really don't know if it's true for everyone.
Everyone's so
I,
different.
yeah, everyone is so different. And I want to say that what's important is that if you are going to eat meat, that you enjoy what you're eating, just like anything. If you're going to eat ice cream, or dessert, enjoy it. It's not about carrying the guilt around what you're doing, because that doesn't really satisfy you at all. And, that's what I want to say, is enjoy it and just let it naturally happen. But yeah, I do think we will create more ways of getting protein, or more ways to work with animals. So I could see that happening. But I think that's more still an individual preference.
Yeah, I'm with you on the guilt. But if you're going to eat something, enjoy it.
Enjoy it.
Bless the food.
Yes,
Like this is the most nutritious thing I'm ever eaten in my life,
truly,
and bless it to
truly.
your body.
Truly, and love it, because I think we manifest these decadent chocolate desserts, so to speak, triple layered chocolate cake. We manifest that because to enjoy life, to
Right.
enjoy things, and that's part of who we are. And so it's not to have the guilt, because the guilt might be something might be the old thought or belief system that we leave behind in
Totally. And you
3D.
have a belief system that I gain weight just by looking at food, then you're always going to be gaining weight when you eat what you want.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
just
You
no
got
fun.
it. You got it. You got it.
Do you have any feelings on the election, or is that not a clear picture?
I've always felt that Trump's going to win the election. I felt it a long time ago. I do feel that there's a purpose to all of what's happening right now. But I do feel whether you're for any president, I mean, some people don't even vote. So I would always say, please vote. That's always my thought. But then it's up to you. I always let people do that. But some people just I would just say exercise your rights, because we're all politicians, and we're all politicians in some way or another, and it's very good for us to be informed. It's very good to be part of this world. It's very good to be part of this country, whatever country you're in. Whatever country you're in, you're supposed to be from that country. You have worked as a soul, Kelly, you and I, we have worked so hard to get to where we are in our evolvement, in our soul's evolvement, right? And so for everyone, wherever they're from, they've worked very hard in all those past lives to get where they are today. So keep it up. I would just say keep going, keep it up, and once again, always come from love and compassion, and know that there's always like a higher purpose to things working out. And really, if you and I can stay involved and not turn away from what's happening, we can really make an impact just through our intention, our prayer, our thoughts. You know,
And it does feel like Trump is on that mission as well to unite people. I know a lot of people hate him so much, but it does feel like he wants to help America, and he's doing good in the end, despite all the crazy stuff he does.
Yeah. So we always have to look at the bigger picture, and sometimes it's hard to
Right.
see the bigger picture, and
It really is.
people want to figure it out all in one day, but it's may not happen all in one day. But
Clearly.
what will move this country forward, or this planet forward, or to its higher calling, is that
Yeah.
um, we all raise our vibration, to be more loving, more kind, more giving, more compassionate. And that's with ourselves too. Like, don't let us not be hard on ourselves, but let's be kind to ourselves and to other people. And that will, put us in the stratosphere of what we can manifest in this life, you know.
Yeah, and it's so important to get in that mindset when you're in lockdown. We're in California. We've been, as you know, you're in LA. A lot of stuff's been closed this whole time since March, right? Where other
Exactly.
states have opened up, we haven't
Yeah.
opened up,
Nope.
and it gets super frustrating. It's like I don't know if my gym will ever open again. It's so, or my hair
Either.
salon, or
No.
it's like I want to know when. Do you know that by way
Yeah.
when we can stop wearing masks and go to the gym again?
It might be a while still. It might be a while
Oh
still.
God.
I know. I know. But part of that fifth dimension, just to tell you, it is about thoughts become things, and how we're manifesting with our thoughts, and how transparent we are becoming. I mean, we really do know more about each other than maybe we perceive. But because we're all souls living on this planet, our thoughts are things, right? And if we think positively, I really do feel we're making great changes. And if we think negatively, we kind of don't want to do that anymore. That part of it is falling off, or getting less, I'll just say. So it is about us becoming more transparent with people, and being truthful, and moving more from a head society where we're always in our head. I mean, we can keep the intelligence, but let's bring the intelligence down to our heart and become more of a heart-based, intelligent planet, where we speak from our
Yes.
heart, we listen from our heart, we read, we talk, we live our lives from our heart. And because that's what they're saying, the heart is really the second brain, or the brain, and that's where our manifesting comes from too. That's where our divine goodness, I'll just say, comes from.
Oh, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So just when I think of the craziness, I'm like, there's so much good coming though, right? Our
Yeah.
world is changing. And then a year from now, it may be just completely different than it is now,
It's
right?
absolutely going to be
Or
completely
6 months from now.
or 6 months from now. As we know that every day there for a while was every day was changing so quickly. But this is natural. It's part of our history. I'll just say there's been a lot of history that has worked so hard to get us where we are now. So let's not think that it's continue, right? This too shall pass, this too shall pass.
Right. I
And
say that a
things
lot.
will get better. You have to really remind each other too. So remind each other of that too, would you? And but that is where we're heading. We're heading more into, we're responding to our abilities. So we're more responsible. We are responding to our abilities. And they are telling us something. Our higher guidance system is telling us
Yeah,
things to help and contribute.
I love that. And I keep hearing that the quantum financial system is changing and people are going to have a lot more money in the future. It won't be so money focused. It'll be humanity focused. People can afford to buy houses and it's going to be more even rather than these drastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've also heard that it's becoming more of a matriarchal society where more women are, that divine goddess energy is stepping into the 5D, where we see it now, even in our government in the United States. More women are in Congress. Even today, more women more women are owning their own businesses. So we're seeing that matriarchal society stepping in, where it's more of a nurturing maternal feeling, to where, yes, the money it may be expressed in other ways. How's that? Even the companies you see now these companies are, well, if you buy our product, we give a product away, right? We see those charity companies,
yeah.
right? If you buy a pair of shoes, we give a pair of shoes to
or
people
they
that
donate.
need.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're seeing much more of that happening. And I think that's where we're headed to. I think that's where that's got to be a must in our future.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Help all of us come up to more of an even playing field.
And that could be within the next year too, right? That drastic change.
I think we're underway right now with it happening. And, even other people that I counsel or that I work with, other people starting their own companies, that's something that they tell me they want to do. They're like, look, I really want to do this part, donate this amount to, different charities and organizations. So it's really everywhere. Yeah.
Is it going to be different? Like now they want to save for the future. They want to have money to retire on. They invest in gold and silver or different stocks and bonds. And it's just, there's always that stress around save. So you have money. Is that changing then? That's part of the whole change.
Yes. Well, I do think it's part of the whole change. That might be one of the slower things to change. I'll just say that, but it is changing. But it might be one of the slower things to change. For example, I know for a fact that grandchildren these days that were gifted the house that's been in the family for 100 years, they don't want the house anymore because it's too much stress. It's like the younger people today, they feel they don't want to take on the burden. They don't want to take on the stress of the taxes or the caring for a household when it's a big responsibility for something. So it's like people are learning to live with less and live lighter and live more freer. But I think the money financial investing in the future is still important. But it's gonna be a little bit slower to actually being more of the forefront. I think it's going to take a little bit longer for us to get there on that. But yes, it's always important to plan for the future, no doubt about it. But ways of investing are going to shift. How's that?
Is gold and silver going to be going? Because everyone says go invest in gold and silver.
I still feel it to be very much prevalent on the planet. And yes, that's still going to be around for some time.
Yeah, that's a staple. Not going anywhere.
It's part of us or something. That's just what I'm hearing is, some things are really good for grounding. Like I always tell people, if you wear gold is a very, it's the biggest mineral on this earth. And gold is a very grounding color, whether you wear a ground ring or earring or, just have the color around you, it's a very grounding color. And silver too. Silver also, but really gold.
Silver.
Yeah, I like silver. I like both, but and it's interesting. And your preference might change and might move from one to the other. So be open to even be open moving into this fifth dimension. Just be open to your own belief systems, you know, be open to your own thoughts, because they're going to shift and change, and you're going to be dropping old belief systems, and you may not like things you liked before, and you may like new things that you never liked before. So
Yeah, so
really it's about
cool.
being free in your own mind with your thoughts, being free as an individual in this country. And yeah,
That's a daily practice to do too, to keep your mind clear and realize I'm not stuck in anything. I can do whatever I want.
it is absolutely, it's a moment to moment practice, even it can be. So no worries about that. I mean, we're all going to get there together. No one's going to be left behind.
Yeah.
But it will be a practice, something to move towards, that we'll be just finding it's more free, we're more natural, it's more of our natural way of who we are.
I love
So we won't
that.
even
It's so
won't even
exciting.
be thinking about it, you know, in the
Yeah, it
future.
just happened naturally. It's just, this is who I am.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for this interview, Cheryl. I've totally enjoyed it.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for all the words of wisdom, so people know what to look forward to, and not be so living in fear, because that's just not a fun place to be at all.
Yeah, right. Not a fun place at all. And look, if you're afraid, all I can just say is pick up the phone if you can, call a friend, and really don't hold anything in. This is really the time to connect with people, right? This is the time we all need to be connected.
Yes, and I'm going to include your website and your contact information in the description, because it's so helpful talking to someone like you and doing some training, which I would love to do personally
Thank you.
on
Thank you.
the psychic training.
Absolutely.
I think it's so helpful. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We'll be
Yeah,
chatting soon.
you're welcome. Well, thank you for
Okay.
having me again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.